MiniIPX is the acronym for Mini Imaging Interpretation Exercise. It involves an assessor observing a trainee undertaking an imaging interpretation study or a series of studies. This can be undertaken in a wide variety of clinical settings and across all modalities found in a radiology department. The assessor scores the performance of the trainee according to a rating scale and gives immediate feedback at the end of the process. If we start looking at the paperwork of MiniIPX, the first thing to fill in is the assessor's registration number and the date of the assessment. If the assessor is a doctor, this should be the GMC number. If it is an allied healthcare professional, the society number is most appropriate. The next thing to fill in is the Eurospecialty training and the modality and setting of the particular case mix that is being undertaken during the assessment. The MiniIPX can be further contextualized using free text within the case description and setting boxes. Of importance is the trainee's previous experience with the particular case mix that is being assessed and the difficulty of the case mix, and these can be annotated in the boxes provided. If we now look at the domains being assessed and the rating scales, you will see that the rating scales have been given descriptors from well below to well above levels for expected stage of training. If we look at the domains to be assessed in the MiniIPX, most are self-explanatory. If there is one domain that may seem slightly out of context, is that of infection control. Infection control may seem at odds to the remainder of the domains within this assessment. Nevertheless, we see that there is an opportunity to assess a trainee's use of hygiene when moving from a clinical to a reporting area. The domains being assessed in the MiniIPX look at relevant anatomy, clinical context, usage of equipment and observation of findings, imaging interpretation and, where appropriate, reference to previous investigations. The clarity of report is obviously critical, and communication of the information from the studies to patients and staff. There is the opportunity to assess the judgment and insight of the trainee in relation to the studies they have undertaken. There is then an opportunity to look at the overall clinical judgment of the trainee in relation to one of 4 anchor statements. There are 4 ratings, each of which has been given a description as shown here. Finally, there is the opportunity for feedback by both the assessor and the trainee. This takes the form of free text boxes, and it should be noted that these are mandatory to allow completion of the MiniIPX.